At this point, you should have signed up for web hosting and installed WordPress on your blog. If you haven't, make sure that you go back to the last lesson, download the step-by-step instructions by clicking the worksheet link beneath the video. At this point, we are going to jump into WordPress. This first lesson is going to be an overview of the WordPress dashboard. Now you can get to your WordPress dashboard in one of two ways. You can get there by signing into your web host. So if you used Bluehost, you would just log in here, and there's a bar right in the middle that says log into WordPress. Now that's the longer way to get there. Another way to get there is to type in your blog URL and at the end /wp-admin. And this is what's called your WordPress dashboard, or the back end of your website. Now real quick, I'm going to show you the front end. If you go up here to where it has your website name and click Visit Site, it'll take you to what's called the front end. And this is what your audience will see when they come to your website. The only part that they won't see is this top toolbar. And we'll come back to that in just a little bit. But for now, let's go back to the dashboard. The WordPress dashboard allows you to control all of the behind-the-scenes details of managing your site. Once you find your way around the dashboard, you'll realize it's really easy to use and navigate. Your view might look a little bit different because of the screen options, and that's right up here on the right-hand side. You click that and you'll see that there are some different things that you might be able to click. Now what's here depends on what plugins you have installed, and that's going to be in a future lesson. Also, sometimes the theme that you're using might have some options. It really is personal preference. I'm going to show you the main ones that'll be on everyone's WordPress dashboard. So the first one is right after you've installed WordPress is this Welcome to WordPress. And it gives you all of these options, like you can go ahead and customize your site and change your theme. You can edit that front page that we just saw, add additional pages, blog posts. Here's another place to view your site than what we showed here. You can manage widgets and menus, turn comments on and off, and even learn more. So you can leave this up while you're still learning if you want to be a shortcut. But since I'm going to show you how to use everything on the left toolbar, we will go ahead and dismiss that. Now, after that, you're going to have typically two columns. Almost everyone's going to have at a glance up, unless, again, you come up to screen options and turn it off. At a glance just shows how many total posts you have and how many total pages you have. It also shows what theme you're running, and this one is talking about a plugin that we will definitely discuss in that plugin lesson. Below that is an activity section that basically shows your recently published sites, and if you have Jetpack, that might be down here. Again, that is also plugin. Over in the right column, you'll see Quick Draft, where this actually lets you type in a new title and a little bit of content. So if you just have an idea and you want to save a draft on a blog post, you could do it really quickly right here without actually creating a blog post in the left toolbar, which I'm going to show you later. And then finally, WordPress events and news. One last time, you could turn all of these things off if you wanted to, and not see anything. It's totally your option. You can turn them all on. Now what I want to spend a little more time on is this black bar over here, and it is called the left-hand navigation menu. You can actually change the color of this bar if you'd like. One last thing before we get into the left-hand navigation menu is up here on the right-hand side. You'll see it says Howdy Admin. The reason why it says admin and there's no photo here is because I haven't edited my profile. If you click on edit your profile, there are a lot of different things that you can change. One is disabling the visual editor when writing. I don't like that because I like to be able to see what I'm doing. Syntax. The main thing is you can change the color. So take a look at that left-hand toolbar as I click to these different colors. This does not change how people see your website, just how you see the back end. You can enable keyboard shortcuts for comment moderation. I don't, I just use the standard way. And you can even show toolbar when viewing your site. This is the toolbar up here. Remember how we also saw a toolbar on the front end? I personally like that. I think it's easy to use, so I keep it clicked. I can add a first name and last name and a nickname. Instead of Howdy Admin, it would then say Howdy the way I wanted it, and I could change how I want to display my name publicly. And I can even add additional email about myself, including adding a profile picture on Gravatar. If you ever want to change your password, this is where you do it. And both of these are plugin information. And you notice right here, even though I got here by clicking up here, Howdy Admin, it's over here on the left toolbar. Everything you can do on the front end, everything you can do on the shortcuts, it's all over here on the left-hand navigation bar. This left-hand navigation bar is going to let us do everything we need to do to get the blog up and running. No matter which web host you're using, your left-hand navigation bar is going to look the same. The only difference will be up here. Since I use Bluehost, that's what shows up here. This actually allows me to go to my Bluehost home, and you can do many other things there, which we'll be showing in future lessons, like setting up an email address. Jetpack is a plugin that we will be discussing in a future lesson. Your dashboard is what we originally saw just a minute ago. And then this is important because these red circles show you when there's updates. Now, the beauty about installing WordPress this way was that WordPress updates will be automatic, but it will tell you that it was done. So it tells you you have the latest version of WordPress. Future security updates will be applied automatically. If you needed to reinstall it for some reason, you could do it here. And then it tells you all your plugins are up to date and your theme is up to date. It's always important to stay up to date for security purposes. So if you ever have a little red circle around updates, plugins, or even themes, you're going to want to make sure that you come here and that you actually push the update if necessary. Posts is a future lesson where we're going to actually create blog posts. Media, this is where you can add videos and images, and that is also a future lesson. Same with pages. Comments, how you reply to comments. Forms is a way that you can allow people to contact you. Appearance, we're going to have a lesson on themes, on how to customize, on widgets. When we talk about categories and pages, we'll also talk about menus. So this is just a little tour to give you an idea of what's here. Plugins, we're going to have a lesson on plugins. Users, so we just saw how we changed up here in the right-hand corner. You can also change users down here, and notice you can even add new users. So if you wanted to have other people contribute, like as guest bloggers to your site, you could create users for them. I often just create one called guest, and then I log in myself as that, and I put their blog in there, but some people actually create a password for that and provide it to people and allow them to put it in there themselves. There are other tools here to check the health of your website, and then finally settings that are related to general writing, reading, discussion, media, permalinks, and privacy. And we'll be going over these as they pertain to each lesson. For example, we're going to talk about permalinks when we talk about pages and blog posts. These final things that you see on here are plugins that I've installed to this website. So those will be in the plugin lesson. I'll tell you which ones that I recommend, and I'll show you how to upload them. So there you have it. This is your WordPress dashboard. This is the left-hand navigation. This is the toolbar. We're looking at the back end. If you visit your site, then you're looking at the front end, and this dark toolbar, again, can only be seen by you, not by your visitors. One last thing about this front toolbar is you have two different things here, customize or edit page. Let's see what the difference is. If you click edit page, it takes you to your back end, and then you see what you have here is a lot of, well, this is on text view, so it's showing you the HTML. If you switched it over to visual view, it shows you a WYSIWYG editor, which stands for what you see is what you get. And this shows you all of how we set up the front page. Now, I personally like to edit my front page while I'm actually looking at it. So instead of using this edit page, I'll click this customize. And now watch what happens when I click customize. And now what happens is you see I can edit everything here on the front page. I could take off this little element if I wanted to. I could change the wording and the colors here and here. Even this, which is a link I'm going to show you later, how to build one of these for email management to get people to sign up for your email. And I could edit here. Scrolling down, I can also click on this. Now this will take me again to the back page for this one section. But down here, again, the footer, I can edit it by clicking here. Now, not all websites look the same. You have these elements on this page because of the theme that is installed. Different themes give you different options. Here's an example of Chicory's Travels. The layout is completely different. Here's another one. It's called North American RV Travel. You notice the toolbar is down beneath a large photo. And then large photos break up text. This is another common WordPress theme. So your layout is really going to depend on which theme you have, but there are definitely things that you can customize. So what I would recommend that you do is you play around with this and you customize it. Now when we have the theme lesson, I'm going to get into some more of the details over here. Also, when we do the category and page lessons, we'll talk about the menus. We're going to have a lesson specifically on widgets. This is the actual theme that is installed to this website. But I would encourage you to just play around with yours. You notice when I clicked on this, now it changes over here. And here's where I can actually change the word F Lifestyle. Down here is where I can change this, Effective Finance and Frugal Lifestyle. Right here is that button text. And I even put the URL for the button right here. This big image right here, the piggy bank, you can change that just by selecting another image, and it'll take you to your media library. If I went down here to the footer and clicked edit, again, it brings it over here. Now you notice with this theme, it is actually in HTML. So some themes make it a little easier to change. Some themes force you to use HTML. How about this bar up here? You notice that changes menus. I'm using a top bar. That's the only option in this theme. The footer menu, again, it doesn't give me another option. So when you're first deciding what theme you want, that's going to have a big impact on the way that your website looks on the front end especially. And there you have it. A quick overview of your WordPress dashboard, what you're going to see, and an idea of future lessons and the things that we'll cover to help you customize your blog and actually start producing blog posts. So let's get started.